This is the dark side of South Africa. South Africa's popularity started with its mineral revolution. It all started with the discovery of the Eureka, South Africa's first diamond, by a 15-year-old boy named Erasmus in 1867. With this, there was an influx of Europeans coming into the country and hundreds and thousands of men coming into the mine to become workers. Not only that, but it was also found that South Africa is rich in gold, platinum, manganese, and lithium as well, inviting even more European settlers to catch this opportunity. With the rising tension between the European settlers and native South Africans, segregation policies started to be implemented, which became the seed of apartheid. The struggle came to an end with the very long negotiation process, which went from the year 1990 to 1994. April of 1994 marked the end of apartheid in South Africa and the election of Nelson Mandela as its president. It seemed like the peaceful days of democracy that many South Africans waited for had finally arrived, while just like any other nation, many issues still arise. One of the first issues that South Africa has is a very common one for all developing countries: economic inequality. It's a shame that despite the abundance of natural resources, there are still many South Africans who live in poverty. South Africa is the most unequal country in the world, with only 10% of the population owning almost 80% of its wealth. This is also shown in their Gini coefficient, the worst in the world at 63%. Gini shows the distribution of wealth in a country. The higher the value, the more unequal the distribution is. Even 30 years after its end, it seems that segregation still plays a role in the country. The government has given more efforts to end this inequality by implementing policies that benefit their people. These efforts include more social spending, targeted government transfers, affirmative actions, and encouraging entrepreneurship. This unequal distribution of wealth has also affected many different aspects of the people of South Africa. For instance, inequality in educational opportunities. Again, South Africa has one of the most unequal educational systems in the world. The country's top 200 schools achieve more distinction or high school grades in mathematics compared to the rest of the 6,600 schools combined. That means that 3% of schools achieve more than the rest of the 97% of schools in South Africa combined. This is because the students in lower income schools do not have access to the right facilities and infrastructure. Some of the schools lack access to electricity and even are built out of mud and asbestos. This is not only dangerous for the students' health, but it also disrupts their learning process. They also lack proper sanitation, with badly maintained and broken toilets. Many students call their school as being unhealthy and dirty. The lack of security is also a concern, with vandalism and burglary happening often. The students also suffer from the lack of transportation modes. Some students have to walk for around 30 minutes to an hour to get to school. This means the school could be at least 3 kilometers from their house. Not to mention, many lack other basic facilities such as libraries, internet connection, sports facilities, and laboratories. The government has aimed to fix all of these issues in the next 14 years, but only time will tell if this will become a reality. Another facility that is lacking in South Africa is its issue with water supply. The water infrastructure in the country has been suffering from many leakages throughout the years, which caused them to lose around 70 million liters of usable and treated water daily. Had this issue not existed, they would be able to supply their citizens better. The situation is so bad that in certain parts of Cape Town, people are told to only use 50 liters of water per household per day. They were asked to only shower for 2 minutes, reuse gray water, and flush their toilet only when necessary. The government is so desperate for more supply that they tried to look for more water sources, such as boreholes. But these boreholes are often unsanitary and contaminated by bacteria, which could then lead to more problems for their people. In some of its rural areas, a third of its boreholes are contaminated with E. coli bacteria. What's even more alarming, boreholes in areas near schools are susceptible to bacterial infection. Another dark side of South Africa is the canned lion hunting industry. This is where captive bred wild animals are hunted in small enclosures. The country is a go-to for wealthy foreigners who want to add lions to their exotic animal trophies. The lions are purposefully bred and raised to be hunted by tourist hunters. They are raised to be social and dependent on humans, but then are free to kill when they're adults. There are about 8,000 lions still being held captive in 250 hunting facilities. It boggles the mind that this practice is still considered legal in South Africa, although it was linked to the international trafficking of wild animals. The population of lions is also shrinking fast in South Africa, with canned hunting being one of the reasons why. There are efforts to end this practice. A panel of discussion led by South African Ministry of Forestry, Fisheries, and the Environment recommend banning canned lion hunting in May of 2021. But a call to action has yet to be decided, so the legal status of canned lion hunting is still up in the air. As mentioned, South Africa is well known for its mining and natural resources. One that has grown a lot in popularity lately is lithium. Being the lightest metal on the planet, lithium is now considered a hot commodity for electrical devices. Anything from a mobile phone to an aircraft uses lithium as part of its design. South Africa is now considered one of the hotspots for developing lithium-ion batteries. Lithium is considered one of the most important components of electrical vehicles as well, something that most people see as a way out of our dependency on fossil fuels. But this does come at a cost. Lithium extraction has been shown to destroy the environment by contaminating the soil and causing air pollution. This could mean that the surrounding area could be at risk of degenerative diseases, which could be caused directly by air pollution or indirectly by contaminating the soil and having it affect food products and water supply. Not only that, lithium extraction requires 2.2 million liters of water per ton. It was already mentioned that South Africa has water supply issues, and this could worsen the problems even more. Another commodity that also poses a dark side to the South African mining industry is the gold mines. Many consider gold mining to be a risky profession, with little to no pay at all. A worker could be pounding all day for merely 10 pounds. Most of the gold mining is also illegal because most of the mines in South Africa were abandoned by their original owners for being unprofitable. This means that occupational health and safety checks are all out the window. These gold mines can collapse and kill the miners almost immediately. It also poisons the surrounding area thanks to heavy metal concentration, radiation, and water contamination. But due to the high unemployment rate and inequality of wealth, these people have no other choice but to carry the burden. Some more interesting, lesser-known facts that I have found about South Africa. Rain-calling rituals. During droughts, some South African communities perform rain-calling rituals. These practices are often about dances, songs, and the use of sacred objects believed to influence the weather. The world's first heart transplant was performed in Cape Town. On December 3, 1967, in Cape Town, Dr. Christian Barnard performed the world's first heart transplant. He was assisted by Hamilton Naki, who played a crucial role in this groundbreaking surgery. The world's longest wine route. South Africa is the 7th largest wine producer in the world, and it's known for the longest wine route on Earth. Route 62 stretches 850 kilometers from Cape Town to Port Elizabeth, offering a scenic journey through the country's diverse wine regions. South Africa is a beautiful country, with a natural landscape and vast resources, but it still has some homework when it comes to equality and the environment. All this comes to one factor: effective policymaking. Let's hope South Africa can flourish in the future, solving the issues and its dark side one at a time.